In all the fanfare surrounding our grand reopening of our synagogue, there's one detail that I fear may have gone overlooked, and that is our new logo. A logo, as you are well aware, is a visual mark that represents a brand or an organization. I'm sure you can conjure up some of the most memorable ones that have persisted through the generations. Our new logo, which is on our handout, is an ark, A-R-C, ark, A-R-K, ark, A-R-C. I'm talking about an ark. An arc, A-R-C, is a smooth curve joining two endpoints. Another way to look at it is that it is a section of a circle's circumference. Mathematically, an arc is just a section of a circle, but a circle can symbolize so many things in our Jewish tradition, but especially the continuity of love and life. That's why couples circle one another under the chuppah and wear wedding rings. It's why the Lion King sings about the circle of life. An arc conveys a trajectory, a journey in progress, movement toward something. Which brings me to a phrase you may know well. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. These words are attributed to Theodore Parker, who was a reformer, a Christian reformer, and an abolitionist Unitarian minister from the 1800s. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., of course, made this phrase incredibly popular, and it has shaped activism, Jewish and otherwise, for generations. So on our materials, on my business card, on our pamphlets, and on all of our signage, we have an arc. But what does it stand for? You could see it as a reflection of our dome, the shape of our dome. You could see it as a symbol of hope, of trajectory and justice. And yet, the arc of the moral universe is long. I'd venture to say that right now, in this moment, our vision for a moral universe feels less like an elegant arc and more like a boomeranging nunchuck. We were whiplashed this week in San Francisco with threats of federal incursion, only to have it called off thanks to the work of our mayor and other civic and business leaders. But this restraint feels temporary, at least to me. And this restraint is only here in our 7x7 enclave in San Francisco. What happens across the Bay Bridge? What happens in other communities around California and around our nation, communities that don't have the same clout with the administration? Today we might feel relief, and we might feel joy, and we must. But the feeling that the other shoe will drop still haunts me. It reminds us that before there is perfect justice, there will be steep hills to climb, seemingly unbelievable setbacks, and downright horrific violence at the hands of a state we thought would protect all of its people and behave in a democratic and humane way. So where do we turn when the arc feels like it's boomeranging back toward us instead of forward towards justice? As always, I'd like to turn to Torah, the foundation of our wisdom tradition. Just last week, we began to read the Torah from its beginning again. And this week, we read from the second Torah portion, Parshat Noach, the story of Noah. You might know the story. The people of the early world are evil and wicked, and God destroys them all in a flood, sparing just one family, Noah's family, and two of every kind of animal. Once the flood subsides and dry land is found again, when the world begins anew, God makes a promise. We as Jews regard this promise as our founding covenant. As it is written in Genesis chapter 8, the Eternal One said, "Never again will I doom the earth because of humankind, nor will I ever again destroy every living being as I have done. So long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." And as a reminder of this covenant, God placed an arc-shaped pallet of many colors in the sky, the rainbow. In Hebrew, the keshet. The rainbow, the colorful arc, is a sign that we are in relationship with our source of creation. It's an unconditional covenant, not dependent on our perfection, but on the reality that we can all see, that there are rainbows, that life will go on after the flood. Light will come through, sometimes blazing and sometimes faintly, but never again will there be total destruction. The arc toward justice doesn't, and it won't, bend on its own. And a rainbow isn't automatically loaded with the meaning that I just described. We have to make it so. We have to do the work of bending that arc, of defending ourselves and our neighbors against the boomerang effects of violence and injustice. So where do we bend the arc? How do we do this work? It starts right here, at the synagogue, under our dome. We organize efforts to bend toward justice. Here in our synagogue, we meet each week, at least, to mark the passage of time. We mark sacred occasions, joyful occasions like B'nai Mitzvah, and sorrowful occasions. We learn here, we wrestle here, we build relationships here. Once we see that what we do in life is standing on that segment of the arc and actively bending it, when we see ourselves as that reminder in the sky that never again will there be total destruction, that we will be remembered for life, l'chaim, then our work, our daily lives take on sacred meaning. This arc, this segment of a circle, is a path that the Jewish tradition and the Jewish people have traveled on over and over and over again. When we sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which Tablet magazine called the most beautiful Jewish exilic prayer ever set to music, we're singing about returning to that original covenant, to that rainbow. We long to find ourselves once again under that colorful arc of promise. No. When you walk out of here onto Lake Street tonight, take a look up at the light fixture in the lobby. Guess what shape it's in? An arc. It's designed to follow the curvature of our dome and to reflect the sign of the covenant. Actually haven't verified that yet, but we're going to assume that maybe there's some meaning there, Joel. So each time that you walk through the lobby and out onto Lake Street, each time that you walk through the lobby into our building, each time you see Emanu-El's logo in my email signature, on our brochures, let it be a reminder that the arc is long, but it bends toward justice. We must bend it, and we can. Shabbat Shalom.